interviewing Ms. Wanda Rose. What is your position here at the Center for Community Preparedness?
I'm the Admin Finance Program Manager.
Okay, how often is the budget revised and what type of input do you collect from other departments within this organization?
We do a yearly budget application. We're on a 5-year cooperative agreement, so each year we have to reapply for the funding. So each year we have to redo our budget.
Okay.
And so once we redo the budget in process and getting ready for the budget, we seek input through all the programs. So we have within the Center for Community Preparedness budget, we have logistics, planning, operations, admin, finance, and then outside we have epidemiology and lab, SEEP, which is basically we have the SEEP program, and we have environmental health. They also get some funding from us, and the medical directors for immunization. So when we get in the regions, we have non-public health regions. So each one of these areas submit a budget, and we basically negotiate with them on their budget. So we look at, we were awarded $8 million, that's what we have to work with. So each program submits what they think they're going to need for funding for that year. And then from that point, we develop our budget.
Okay. Do all employees have access to the budget, and why not?
Everybody gets a general budget summary that we share, and the summary budget says where all the funding is going. We also present the budget when we sort the final budget. We present that budget to leadership. So that budget has to go to the assistant secretary level, to the state health officer, as well as the executive director for emergency preparedness. We present the budget with Brown, myself, and then she did it probably Microsoft Robinson. We present the budget to them. We present it in the meeting with all the programs, and they get an overview of what the budget looks like for the coming year once we receive and negotiate with everyone.
What do you believe are the 3 most important facets associated with the budget process? And how do you communicate these beliefs to others in the organization?
The 3 most important factors.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of funding you're going to get for that year, one, is important to know. So that dictates how your budget is going to look anyway. If there's a decrease in funding or increase, that's going to largely dictate what your budget looks like. You're also going to look at what allocated cost is. Allocated cost is similar to indirect cost. So that's what it takes to run the agency. So there's a cost that's attributed to all programs across the board. And there's a formula they use. So there's no direct amount. We usually average it about 20%. We take that off the top of our budget. So that's the point where allocated costs look like, and you look at fringe benefits, because those are things that you can't control. Mm-hmm. Allocated costs and fringe benefits. So, for instance, if your budget your funding is $8 million every year, and your allocated cost goes up, and your fringe benefit goes up, then basically you had a cut. You've been reduced because those numbers went up, but your funding hasn't changed. So those things affect, and then making sure that people are clear about what the funding looks like and how much money you have. And what we didn't talk about before, you do a standard budget, and then we do a budget also with OPH. So we do our budget, and then we work with OPH and with the budget office on our budget as well, to making sure that for next year the funding is there. So they have to you do your funding internally, and then they put the funding to make sure it's in place so that you can utilize those funds. But we also your budget may change during the year because you may get additional funding. So every time you get additional funding, you need to do a new budget and incorporate it into your current budget working with the budget office.
Ultimately, who in the organization must be accountable for the budgeting process?
Within the organization, the director. But she holds the staff accountable. So for instance, I'm the admin finance program manager. So I'm held accountable. I also have someone in my office who does the daily budget and checks and makes sure things are in line. Looks at expenditures, making sure there's no problems with expenditures, making sure I have somebody that checks off with any purchase that comes through our purchase request that the funding is there, and signing off on it before I see it, that the funding is there. So ultimately, I'm held accountable for making sure our budget is there, but then within the center, the director is held accountable.
What technology application do you use?
We use one of the things that most business objects is used, and that's an accounting software that they use called business objects, and then we use Excel internally as well. So we use Excel to do day-to-day tracking, but also a lot of us don't use business. We use business objects here pretty heavily to pull expenditure reporting in as another method of tracking expenditures.
Okay. What do you like about this software?
Um,
Do you like using it?
I don't like or dislike it. I think it's a tool to use. I don't have a like or dislike for it. I don't think it's once you learn it, it's not hard. Once you develop a spreadsheet in there, so you're looking for once you put your coding in certain once you develop a tool, so you're looking every month for expenditures for reporting category 0055. Once you build it one time, you only have to build it one time, and you can just change like the month. So if you're looking for I want all expenditures for reporting category 0055, and you do it for January, and you want to do it for February, all you got to do once you build it that once is change it to March for the March one. So I like the fact that you don't have to redo it. And then once you do it once, you can email that report. You can email that to somebody, and they can have it. And they don't have to do it. They don't have to create their own template because you've done it for them. I like that about it.
Okay. What are the problems with using this application?
I guess the problems are you have to teach yourself. There's no training program that teaches you how to do it. I literally taught myself how to use it, and I don't see within the agency they don't have a class that says, "Hey, this is how you use it. This is what you do." Even the budget office doesn't really use it. They may have one person who's really efficient in it. Maybe one who's really efficient, but everybody they don't use it. They usually a lot of them use like hand tools like Excel, or but they're not using it on a daily basis. Just the basic stuff in business objects. So what I taught myself how to use it. So, but there's a book you can read and there's things online, but there's not really a good training that says this is how you use business objects.
Well, that goes into the last question. How did you learn how to use this application? So instead of that, how long did it take you to teach yourself how to use it efficiently?
I didn't take myself long. I mean, I like to learn new stuff, so it doesn't. And I like to be challenged. So I mean, any little thing like that, I kind of like learning stuff like that. So I might just play with it and taught myself how to do it.
Okay, that's
It
good.
didn't take me long.
Okay, thank you so much for interviewing with me today. I appreciate you taking out the time with your busy schedule.
You're welcome.